Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers. It all begins.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnah Followers, in association with Aris Institute, presents to you an intensive foundation in Islamic studies. We welcome Dr. Ibrahim Dramali, who will be teaching the Aqidah and the Seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnah Followers.
Sister Laila live, Sister Laila live, weekly for the shower at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live, Sister Laila. Invite your friends and family, make it cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Ask Sister Laila live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustadah Laila Nasheeba. If you have any questions in regards to this theme, call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers. Assalamu alaikum. Join us this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Ask Sister Laila live show, brought to you by Ustadah Laila Nasheeba. This week, we'll be focusing the second installment of a very interesting topic on scrubs and how they seek out older women to manipulate, lie, cheat, and maneuver to scheme. Don't forget, you can join the Zoom room with your questions and catch us streaming on the Sunnah Followers channel on YouTube and many other platforms. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Finally got it right. Learning how to work this new streaming. Okay. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Okay, sorry. Welcome to our first class for today, and this is our Aqidah class, and we are continuing with the topic of the meaning of the Shahada, the second part of the meaning of the Shahada that you don't hear many Muslims speak about today. Well, it's nothing surprising. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Tawheed, will disappear. I mean, come on. Like I tell y'all, all those signs, all of the signs leading up to the first of the greater signs, which is the war against Islam, is already here. Muslims don't know what Wala Wal Bara is about. They don't understand what allegiance to Allah means and what allegiance to this religion entails. You know, if I ask the people, what are we testifying to when we declare La ilaha illallah? All they're going to tell you is that we believe in Allah, and that's it. And that's not what that is. It goes much deeper than that. That's why we have this class, so you can learn just how deep it goes. And before I start the class today, I want to remind everybody something that's happening for my Facebook followers. Facebook had a massive lawsuit. Oh, yeah, they got sued. So starting on the 22nd, which will be Sunday, Facebook is not going to allow any more third-party applications. Yeah, Mr. Zoomerik, whatever his name is, he got sued. Okay, so that means people will not be able to stream using third-party streaming programs to any Facebook groups, but you can stream to a page. So that's why I've been inviting you guys to join the Sunnah Followers online page. We have the Sunnah Followers online group, which I am still keeping and maintaining, but also we have the Sunnah Followers online page. We've always had it, I just never used it, but I'm glad Allah had me keep it for a reason. So please, guys, join the Sunnah Followers page. That way you can also join directly for the streaming. But you know, good old Layla, you know, I used to be a little hacker back in the 80s. I learned how to hack my way around it. So right now you guys can see me because I'm sharing to all the groups. But as far as direct stream, you know, join that Sunnah Followers online page and also my profile page. You will always be able to see whatever I stream on my profile page. But for all the groups that have me streaming to them, I'm not going to be streaming to all you groups no more. This is not polygamy, sisters. Sorry. I'll continue to stream to none of you. It's easier for me. So if you sisters want to join my stream, you're going to have to sign up for the Sunnah Followers online page, because that's too much for me, all that streaming. Plus, since I'm no longer streaming to the different groups, that gives me more media platforms. Oh, yeah. I'm already on Facebook, YouTube, DLive, Trovo, Twitch, LinkedIn, Rumble, Odyssey, and Mixcloud. Guess what? I'm getting ready to add about 5 more social platforms. You know, it's all about getting the dawah out there. So I'm kind of glad that Facebook did this, because that allows me 5 of those 5 groups I was streaming to, 5 other platforms, which I'll be logging into today to play around with, to see which ones, you know, are good for bringing in new Muslims. So join the Sunnah Followers online, because I'm not going to be streaming to any of the groups that y'all got me in anymore. I will continue to share to my new Muslim group, and that's it, because I'm really concerned with my shahadas. But all the other groups, the polygamy groups I'm in, and marriage groups y'all done added me to, and all these other group pages, y'all got to join the Sunnah Followers online page, because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to replace you guys with some other platforms to get the dawah out worldwide some more. And also Facebook, you know, it's easier for me, because Facebook are not going to, I don't know what the lawsuit entailed, but I just know they got sued. Mark Zoomerik, whatever his name is, got sued. So no more third-party applications. Okay, so please make a note of that. And also let me remind everybody that tonight, for those of you who have questions, tonight is my Q&A show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for the Q&A show, I'm going to speak about an epidemic that's been happening since the early 2000s, but it's gotten even worse. And this is the epidemic of young men in their 20s. I'm talking 20-year-old men. I ain't talking about 30s, Because if you're in your 30s, you ain't young no more. I'm talking about 20-year-old men who live in foreign countries trying to marry older Muslim American women. And when I say older, I don't mean 30 and I don't mean 40. I mean women who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and we got 80-year-olds who these young boys are marrying. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what happens. We're going to talk about what happens, and some of the problems with this. And I'm going to talk about how you sisters need to beware, and also how you brothers need to beware, because it's a little different than with those young girls. These American women, especially if you're messing with African American women, you will be the one with the broken heart. Okay, so that's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so for now, and by the way, Dr. Dramali's class, I sent Dr. Ali, a lot of you have been asking me about Dr. Ali. I sent him a text message. He's a real doctor. Emergency room, I think he works in emergency room on the weekends. I asked him to send me let me know when he's resuming his classes. And also he has a few classes that he teach for new shahadas that I want to stream. He said he would let me know, and he hasn't gotten back yet. I think that their classes resume this weekend, tomorrow. What I'm going to do after class is contact Dr. Dramali. Since he's the one that is the owner of Aris Institute, I'll call Dr. Dramali after class to see if they're starting this weekend, because Dr. Ali might be tied up in the emergency room. As you know, he's an emergency room doctor on the weekends. He got his own private practice too. But I think the weekends he's emergency room. All right, so I'll let you guys know later on, probably by the Q&A show, whether their classes start. Mukhtar's class does begin tomorrow. This week, Sunday. Just to let you guys know, Sunday, Mukhtar will be continuing the story of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the classes all should resume this weekend. Okay, but for now, let's get started on this class. And this is our Tawheed class, our Aqidah class. We're speaking about what it means to have allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and allegiance to this religion. And by the way, we have a major holiday coming up next month. What is it again? Mother's Day. Who can answer the question? Is it haram for us to celebrate Mother's Day? Who can answer that question for us? What is Allah's stance about Mother's Day? Can anyone answer that? Because I've talked about it. Let's see. Who would like to start it off? What's wrong? Let's get on that microphone.
Mother's Day, we shouldn't celebrate just Mother's Day, because you should celebrate your mother every day.
What do y'all think about that answer? Is that the type of answers we supposed to be giving? No! You got to do better than that, Maisha. Y'all got to answer like people of knowledge. You guys are not the internet people that talk and speak in the Ruwaybida. That's the type of answer the Ruwaybida would give. They would give you an answer with no evidence, just out their mouth. Anybody else?
I didn't get to pick the full answer. That's my bad. She said, because she's driving, Shamika said, we only celebrate Eid. We do not celebrate Mother's Day, because we are supposed to give thanks to our mothers every day.
Okay, what do y'all think about that answer? Does that make it any better? Anybody else? Thank you for trying. See, I got sisters that have no fear. It's something about the women out of Cleveland. Women in Cleveland, we ain't got no fear. We got a backbone. We ain't got a problem trying to answer questions like the rest of you sisters that's sitting up in here hiding behind a computer. Y'all better get some guts like we women in Cleveland got. Anybody else? Let me hear somebody else's answer. How would you respond?
I can try.
Okay, oh, is that my baby Sabrina?
Yes.
Oh yeah, let's hear from Sabrina, the future Layla, inshallah. Go ahead.
Okay, so it could be, you know, like, it's not obligated and it's not haram to celebrate it, but you should like be doing good things to your mother every single day constantly, but not just one day, but you don't like, but it's not like haram to celebrate Mother's Day.
Okay, did y'all hear her answer? She said she would tell him, and that's good, that it ain't haram. This is what Shamika forgot. Shamika didn't address whether it's lawful or not. You know, we can't go around telling people it's haram, because it's not haram, you know, to honor your mother. Allah requires that. But like she and Shamika both said, Islam, you tell the person, Islam teaches us that our mother should be honored every day. And then there's one more part that they left out. What's the part that Sabrina and Shamika left out, guys?
Allah. It's the allegiance to Allah. That we do not.
Okay, well, why don't you explain that a little better? What do you mean by allegiance to Allah?
It's our allegiance. It's our promise. It's our our promise to Allah that we take on what He told us to take on. We're not taking on, you know, these man-made holidays as our own. Allah has given us what we need and what we should celebrate and what we should be practicing, not the practices of the non-believers, the practices of the land. So we should find that what He gives us to be sufficient, you know. So our decisions, our celebrations, what Allah gives us, it's our dedication to Him and Him solely.
I still don't understand what you mean by that, though. How is that? I'm playing devil's advocate, because I want you guys to answer it a little better. What do you mean allegiance? What does that have to do with allegiance? What do you mean man-made holidays? What that got to do with anything?
Well, Allah is the one who gives to us. Allah is the one that already, you know, prescribed what we should be celebrating, what we should be doing. So if He gives that to us, then we should only be celebrating that. You know, there's
what does it have to do with allegiance?
Well, it has everything to do with allegiance. That's my personal pact with Allah. You understand? I'm not going to go ahead and take these other things and combine it with other people who are just taking it for a time, when the teachings of Islam is telling us basically, hey, you're supposed to go ahead and you're supposed to honor your mother every day.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. Wait a minute, hold on. Is Norto here? Is Norto logged in? Norto, I want you to go into Twitch and ban this person here. Can you see this person here? Is Norto here? Can Norto go into Twitch and ban this person from out of my Twitch account without me having to do it? Because it's going to mess up the screen if I do. Anybody here?
I'm going to message her right now.
Yeah, please message Norto and tell her to get in there and ban this person. Because I got a lot of people that follow me on Twitch and they don't need this person in here. So get in there and ban this person. Okay, she's talking about allegiance, which is true, but her explanation is not clear. Can anybody help with that part? What does it have to do? What does Mother's Day have to do with allegiance? Can somebody explain that part better? Anyone? Okay, you hit it, but your explanation of it is kind of twisted. All right, let me try to explain it again. I want y'all to pay attention, because this question is going to come up to all of you, even with your families, even with my family. And my family are all Muslim too. My mother always wondered, why come you don't celebrate Mother's Day? And here's the answer. It's not an issue of being haram or unlawful, but it's a matter of allegiance. When we declare La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, we are pledging allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and allegiance to the religion of Islam. That's the part she don't got right. The religion of Islam. And when we pledge allegiance, that means that anything that is not a part of our religion, we do what's called bara and distance ourselves from it. Everybody understand? Anything that contradicts our belief system and our religion, we distance ourselves from it. Y'all got it? The simple fact that Mother's Day is a day that was created not by Muslims. This is what should have been in her answer. Mother's Day is not a holiday created by the Prophet Muhammad or created by Allah. It's a holiday, instead of saying man-made, it's a holiday created by American culture. American culture decided to take one day out the year and set it aside to honor their mothers. Whereas Islam, see how I'm explaining it, Geechee? Don't say man-made holiday. What does that mean? No, break it down. Islam teaches us to honor our mother and father every day. So if I were to just do it, evidently, hold on for a minute, guys. Norto's not here. And so let me log in on here. I got to log in on Twitch. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Sick person. I apologize, kids. I'm coming on Twitch now. And I'll just stay on it. Hold on. I'm just going to log in on Twitch and stay on it on my laptop. Wait a minute. Okay. Hold on for a second. Where's the channel? Yeah, I'm coming in, kids. I'm sorry. Sick person. Oh, here he is. Oh, you want to be a sicko, right? Let me ban him. Oh. Y'all can see I don't use this much. Okay, he's banned. Okay, is that good enough, kids? Did I get him? Yeah, alhamdulillah. Inshallah, I banned him out of there. I'm sorry. And I'll just stay in here. I'll stay logged in on Twitch. Hold on. Okay. All right, that's a shame. I apologize that the Muslim kids had to see that on Twitch, this filthy person. And let me do this. The language, he used bad language too. Yeah, just. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, kids. Okay, inshallah, I'll just stay on Twitch so I can watch what's going on. We got a lot of children on Twitch, and since Norto's not here to handle the bans, let me come in. Okay, so you tell the people, number one, and people in Zoom, Famay, make sure you guys are moderated because he'll probably come up in here with his crazy stuff. Okay, and you tell them, you know, allegiance to Islam means that we have allegiance to what our religion entails. Mother's Day is a holiday created by American culture. They decided to set one day out the year to honor mothers. This contradicts the teachings of Allah. Allah commands us to honor our mothers every day. And the simple fact that we have allegiance to this religion, that means whatever is not a part of it, I'm going to stay away from because it contradicts my teachings, my lifestyle. I honor my mother every day. I don't have to give her presents one day out the year. If I start doing that, that creates a thin line between worship and celebration. Y'all understand that? That creates a thin line between worshiping someone and festivities. So celebrating Mother's Day is not a matter of lawful or unlawful, like Sabrina said. It's a matter of, where's my allegiance? Is my allegiance to the religion of Islam, or is my allegiance to American culture? Remember, our allegiance is not to American culture. That's not the testimony of faith. When you testify to La ilaha illallah, you're pledging allegiance to the religion of Islam only, not any other way. No way but the way of submission to Allah. Does that answer the question? Do you understand now, Geechee? Do y'all understand? Does everybody understand that? And it don't matter what country you live in. I'm using America as an example because the people here that asked the question are American. Let's say you lived in Brittany. Let's talk about it. I don't care where you live. Let's say you lived in Britain and the British people created a Mother's Day or a Sister Day, a day that we honor mothers and sisters. The same answer applies. This is contradicting my allegiance to Islam. Did Allah create that? Did the Prophet create that? Islam teaches us to honor the ties of kinship every day. So I'm going to distance myself. Do you guys understand? So I don't care what countries y'all live in. I don't care what holidays you have. This is where we draw the line with holidays. Let me break it down even more. There are some Arabic countries that celebrate Al-Quds Day. Let's talk about it. If we decided to celebrate Al-Quds Day, is this something haram? Or is this something that falls in this category? What do you guys think? And by the way, guys, the history of something has nothing to do with it. And that's another thing too. Y'all read these fatwas on the internet where these men give y'all who cares about the history of pagan holidays? It's a matter of allegiance. I don't care if the history came from King Tut. History ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about Wala Wal Bara, allegiance. And I'm giving you an example. Al-Quds Day. Can we celebrate Al-Quds Day? Go ahead, whoever that was.
I don't know what Al-Quds
Day is. Okay, if you don't know, get out the conversation. Sorry, I'm being, not you, I know I might sound harsh, but if you don't know, I need somebody that knows. Can we celebrate Al-Quds Day? What is Al-Quds Day? This is a day that some Arabs celebrate the Masjid Al-Quds. They celebrate the fact that the mosque in Gaza. Can we do that? I want somebody to answer this question the correct way. Who's here in that Zoom room? Let me open up my other I got to open up all computers, huh? Oh, God. I got to watch the people here. Watch the people there. I got airheads in the Zoom room. Who's in the Zoom room, AWOD? Call these people out so they can get on that mic.
We have...
Tell the first one to hit the mic. Hit the mic. Call their name.
All right.
Anissa, can we celebrate Al-Quds Day? Go to the next person.
Brother Malik.
Brother Malik. Oh, yeah, that Malik should know. Brother Malik, can we celebrate El-Quds Day? Is this something we should do as Muslims? Brother Malik, get on the mic. I know you there. Can we celebrate El-Quds Day? I get sick of this history. History ain't got nothing to do with it. This has to do with la ilaha illallah. Next person, call the next person.
Sister Fame.
Who?
Fame.
Fame knows the answer. Go ahead, Fame. Tell them the answer. Can we do El-Quds Day, Fame?
No, because this is celebrating a country, having allegiance to a flag, a race of people. It's basically celebrating a piece of the earth. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that anybody who has allegiance to like a country or genealogy or a flag of people is not from us. And as Muslims, our allegiance is to Allah, the Prophet, the religion, and all the believers on earth, no matter where they're from, what country they're from. Our allegiance is to all the Muslims, not just one part of the land.
Okay, that's one answer, because some people celebrate Palestine, Gaza, whatever, but El-Quds is really, guys, that's the masjid. Can we set aside one day out the year to commemorate the masjid in Gaza, the third best masjid in the world?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not in allegiance with Allah and His Prophet.
Explain. Yeah, come on, explain it.
Yeah, what it means is it's not something that is enjoined by Allah in the Quran or in the Hadith by the Prophet.
Exactly. Keep it going.
Word.
Good job. Keep it going. El-Quds existed in the Prophet's day. Did he and the companions do that? Did they set aside a day to honor El-Quds Mosque? No. So it's the same thing. It imposes, like he said, upon our allegiance. Our allegiance is to the religion of Islam. And if your allegiance is to the religion of Islam, that means the only holidays we have are the ones the Prophet created for us. And what did the Prophet Muhammad say? He said, we only have two holidays, the Eid al-Adha, the Eid al-Fitr. We don't have El-Quds Day. We don't have Mother's Day. We don't have the 4th of July. You know, this stuff has nothing to do with our allegiance. When you declare la ilaha illallah, we abide by our allegiances to the religion of Islam, not to culture. And this is where we lose it. A lot of you put your culture before Islam. What about Juneteenth? African Americans, y'all know what Juneteenth is. You're celebrating Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the day that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Is that something that we should do as Muslims? Should we take part in Juneteenth Day as Muslims? Why or why not? African Americans? Call their names out, Fame. One of y'all. Should we participate in Juneteenth?
No, because one of the sisters said that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that we can only celebrate 2 holidays, and that's not one of them.
Exactly. And where's your allegiance? Is your allegiance to the Africans that came to America as slaves? Or is your allegiance to Allah, to the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the Muslims, regardless of race, color? Many of the companions were enslaved. Y'all see that? So it's not about worship, Lucy. Y'all still don't get it. This is not about worship. This is about allegiance. And this is what the Daya need to talk about. If Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd is listening to me, this is why I tell you, Sheikh. I tell Sheikh Kareem all the time, I give him feedback from the classes here. And I tell him when he does his conferences, he needs to focus on this beautiful book of his, Wala Wal Bara, because Muslims don't get it. We don't get why we don't celebrate these holidays. It's not about worship in all cases. Juneteenth ain't about worship. It's about having allegiance to slavery. Is that where your allegiance is supposed to be? Is your allegiance supposed to be to the slave period? Or is it supposed to be to Islam? Okay? El-Quds Day. Is your allegiance to El-Quds? Or is your allegiance to Allah, the Prophet, and the religion of Islam? Y'all see? It's about allegiance. Mother's Day. Is your allegiance to an American holiday? Or is your allegiance to what Allah said? The same with Thanksgiving. Is your allegiance to the pilgrims? Is your allegiance to the early settlers? Is your allegiance to a turkey? Or is it to Allah and his religion? Y'all get it? Name any holiday. And it all comes down to allegiance. Some of them, lawful and unlawful. Christmas is not just allegiance. It's our allegiance to Jesus, alayhi salam. Let me put that in there too. Even if Jesus were born on Christmas Day, as Muslims, is our allegiance to the Prophet Jesus, alayhi salam? Or is it to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Y'all see? These holidays are a question of allegiance. Do we follow the sunnah of Jesus? Or do we follow the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad? Do I follow the sunnah of the what's that day that they do? Gives with a K. Instead of African Americans celebrating Christmas, they do, what's it called again?
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Kwanzaa. Is my allegiance to Kwanzaa? Or is my allegiance to Islam? Y'all see? So not everything falls in a category of worship, but most all things fall in the category of allegiance. And that's the second part of that shahada. Wala Wal Bara. That's the second part of the testimony of faith that we don't hear about. If you understood the concept of Wala Wal Bara, you wouldn't think of celebrating El-Quds, Kwanzaa, or even a birthday. Not even a birthday. Is my allegiance to you personally, to the point that I'm going to worship you and give you a present and sing songs because you were born? Oh, are you crazy? Y'all see that? Wala Wal Bara is everything. That's why I told Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd, when he does his conferences, he needs to do his book, do this masterpiece that he created in beautiful English. Subhanallah. It'll open you up. You'll be like, no, I'm not going to take part in that. Same thing with this. A sister asked me this. What about this, guys? A sister came to me the other day and asked me, she said, oh, Sister Laila, one of my co-workers is having a baby shower. Can I go to it? How would you respond to that, guys? What do you think? Your co-worker. No men will be there. There's no smoking. There's no drinking. No dancing. Not even any music. It'll be all women. Can you go to her baby shower? She's a non-Muslim, your co-worker. Can you go to her baby shower? Is this something that is haram or what?
No, I would send a gift. I would not go.
I want the answered the way Islamically. I don't want nobody's opinion.
Muslims there, so why would I be there in the first place? If they were praising Allah, or saying Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar for the child that's coming to the world, then that means that I would go, because we're Muslims, we're worshiping Allah. But these are non-Muslims, so I would send her a gift.
Okay, anybody else want to try to answer? Anybody else want to try to answer based on what we've learned? Your co-worker is a female. She's inviting you to her baby shower. No, she'll tell you. She said, I respect your religion. There's going to be no men. I'm not going to have no music. I'm not going to have no drinking, no cigarettes. It'll just be all women. Can you come, Sister Laila?
I would say no. It wouldn't be advised to go, because a baby shower is celebrating that woman and celebrating an unborn child.
No. Don't we have aqiqahs? We have aqiqahs. What's an aqiqah? No, that's way off. Anybody else want to try? Y'all still don't get it. This going to be the class today. See what I'm saying, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid? If you listening, do you see why you need to make your conferences center around your books, bro? The
Yes,
Muslims are lost. They don't have their aqidah. Their aqidah is gone. Somebody else, go.
Sister Layla, they would have to disassociate. They're not Muslim, number one. It has nothing to do with Islam. You always say, like, it's your co-worker. It's not like it's a sister from the masjid. Disassociate. Keep them away.
Why do I disassociate? Why do I keep them away? Y'all got to do the who, what, where, when, why. We have to learn how to answer. Come on. And Rashida, stop. Wait a minute. Hold on. Sister Rashida, we don't want to hear no more about you and your United Kingdom Mother's Day and your history. We talking about this. I want you to answer this question, Sister Rashida. You and your Mother's Day and that history crap. Who cares? You ain't getting it. This ain't got nothing to do with United Kingdom, Mother's Day, and no history. This is basic Aqidah. You see, Sheikh Kareem, the Muslims are lost. That's why they can't handle what's going on in the world. We don't understand La ilaha illallah. Anybody else would like to try?
On YouTube, Sister Aya said it wouldn't be haram to go, but you should stay away because one, he's not Muslim and we should not have disbelieving friends. And two, you cannot control what the other people do, even if they say they won't drink.
Okay, that's the last part of your answer ain't got nothing to do with anything. But you got the first part. No, I don't. Why come I don't participate? Why would I tell her no? Why would I if my co-worker, who was a nice kafir, she's a nice lady, if she invited me to her baby shower, why would I tell her no? Anybody else want to try? Leave all the other garbage out. Y'all have part of the answer and destroy it with garbage. This is a simple one-sentence answer.
Okay, our allegiance is to Allah. Our allegiance is to Allah, the Prophet.
That ain't the answer. You just quoting a book.
It's religion.
Okay.
No, because Allah does not like when we go to. Because Allah does not like when we go to the wrong words and.
There you go. That's the answer. This is a matter of allegiance. If my co-worker invited me to her house for a baby shower, I would have to decline. Why? Because as the little kid was trying to say, my allegiance is to Allah, to the Prophet Muhammad, and to the Muslims and the religion of Islam. These are not Muslims. We're supposed to distance ourselves. That's what Bara. I'm supposed to distance myself from the non-believers. I would be the only Muslim in a crowd of non-believers. Their lifestyle is not like mine. It's not a matter of haramity. There's nothing in Islam that forbids me from giving a present to a person who's having a baby. That's what we do at our akikahs. We have baby showers too. We just call it akikah in Arabic. Okay? But our akikahs are for us. We're gathered around all other Muslims. And we praise and glorify Allah. And we give in charity. The non-Muslim gatherings don't include that. So even though there's no drinking or none of that stuff, they're not Muslims. Their lifestyle is not like mine. So I distance myself. I'll send a gift. Exactly. I'll send a gift.
I'm sorry. I meant to say Allah does not like when you sit in the company of those who do wrong.
Exactly. Did y'all hear the children? The children know the answer because their fitra is finding its way back to Allah. Allah tells us in the Quran, do not sit in the company of those who do wrong, even though they're not doing wrong right now. These are wrongdoers. These are unbelievers. They don't believe in Allah. They don't pray. They don't take an extension when they use the bathroom. They don't say Alhamdulillah when they sneeze. They don't bathe like we do. So why am I sitting in their company? That's the answer y'all should be given. This is Wala Wal Bara. So not everything is a matter of being unlawful. It's a matter of allegiance. What about this? What about this? What about this? Your family has a gathering, not to celebrate a holiday, but your family invites you over for dinner. They're inviting the whole family over. Your father smokes cigars, and you know he's not going to stop smoking because you're coming. You got a couple of cousins that smoke weed. You know that they might be there. And also you got a few cousins that drink. Can I go to this family gathering? Why or why not? Why or why not? What do you think? It's your family, guys. Your mother is inviting all your aunts, your uncles, your cousins over for dinner, and she wants you to come too. But you know your father's going to be smoking cigarettes. You got a few cousins that's going to be hitting that bud, and you might have a few cousins that's going to be drinking. What do? Do you go? What do you do? Come on, get on the mic. Let's try it. Don't be doing no typing. Let's hear it. Norto is here. She got Twitch. Good job, Twitch. I can log off for Twitch. Go ahead.
I'm going to try this again. First of all, number one, even though they're family, we're not going to sit in the midst of people who are doing haram, which is cigarette smoking or smoking the bud. They do not believe what we believe in. I don't have allegiance to them. I have allegiance to Allah. So I have to decline always.
Okay, she hit it right there. There's exceptions with family members, but the simple fact that you know that these family members are not going to respect your religion, they're not going to respect your belief system, you kindly refuse to go. And you let them know, Mom, you know, Dad cannot smoke around me. I can't be around people that smoke and drink alcohol. So I'm going to have to decline, but thank you for inviting me. Now, what about this, guys? Your family is having a cookout. They let you know that you and your husband and children are invited. And there will be no cigarette smoking. There'll be no drinking, no marijuana. They're not even going to play any music around y'all. They'll go someplace else for the music. And they ain't even barbecuing pork. Everything's beef. But they're not Muslim. Can you go?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, we go because
Go ahead. Finish it.
yes, we go because we are to keep family ties, and that is a part of keeping your family ties.
Okay, good job. Good job. You can go in this case because they're not going to be doing anything wrong and they're your family. Allah makes exceptions for family. What about this? Your sister, she is not Muslim, but the family is throwing her a baby shower. Your uncles are going to be there, your grandfather, a few of the cousins. And they let you know there's no drinking, there's no alcohol or music. It's just for your sister, you know, to get some nice gifts and stuff. Can you go then?
No, because it's still sitting in the company of the wrongdoers, and also you're supporting. She most likely had a baby, you know, out of wedlock. So
do we judge people? Now you done threw in some more stuff. Does babies out of wedlock got anything to do with Islam? I mean, does that do non-Muslims live non-Muslim? No. Anybody else want to try? Go ahead, somebody else.
She can go because it's enjoined upon us to keep the ties with the kinship.
Exactly. So what makes going to your sister's baby shower that does have men who are relatives? What makes that different than going to your co-workers who's all female shower? What's the difference?
The difference is family.
Exactly.
They're not family.
What? Yeah. Family. Exactly. Allah bends the rules with us for family members, for family gatherings. Remember, the kinship is under the throne of Allah on the day of judgment when all of us have to walk across that bridge. The Prophet Muhammad will be standing in front of us. On his right will be trust, and on his left will be the kinship. And as we walk down across that bridge, the kinship will call out if you severed it. So there's difference. Allah bends the rules for family. But your co-workers are not family. Okay? So it's a difference. I'm not violating any allegiance because, by going to the family baby shower. In fact, I'm maintaining the allegiance to my family. That's one of the 10 commandments. That's different. Do y'all get that? As long as the family has no haram activity. Y'all understand that? What about this? One of your co-workers. No, not a co-worker. Your best friend is getting married. She invites you to her wedding. She lets you know that you can come dressed as a Muslim. She's going to sit you at a table away from everybody. There'll be no alcohol at her wedding because she don't drink either. They're going to be serving chicken and fish, no pork. And they're not even going to have any music. Can you go to your best friend's wedding?
Is the best friend Muslim?
Of course not. Can you go to the best friend's wedding? Muslims don't get married that way, so of course it ain't no Muslim. At least y'all ain't supposed to. I know you Muslims are imitating Kafirs, but that ain't how we do our marriages. Can you go? What do you guys think? Why y'all quiet on that?
I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go for this. If it happened to me.
I need an Islamic answer. I don't need an
first of all, their
opinion.
lifestyle is not ours, and it's probably a religion I'm not following anyway. And it's all, to be in the melee of that.
In other words, let me ask it this way, because y'all go all over. Is this what is it violating? If I didn't go, why wouldn't I go?
Because it's violating the allegiance to this religion, to Allah.
Exactly. Y'all got to answer questions Islamically. Answer that correctly. Is it haram? Or am I violating any of the tenets of that shahada? That's the way y'all have to think in all facets of life. When it comes to all facets of life, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, please pay attention here. You need to stress this, Aki, when you go to these conferences. The women are messed up. I need to be at this conference so I can talk to these sisters. You sisters are messed up. I want y'all to think everything. Remember, everything begins with and ends with La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. When we find ourselves in situations, ask yourself, number one, is this a lawful situation? Or is it an unlawful situation? Number two, am I violating La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah? Those are the two questions you ask. So your answers are based on those two questions and everything in life. When you get hired for a job, is this type of job is this job that I'm taking, is it unlawful? Is it lawful? Does this job jeopardize my allegiance? Does it jeopardize La ilaha illallah? When you buy a house, is this house lawful and unlawful? Those are the two questions. If we would think like that, with La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, you'd find it easy in life. Now let's try it again. Your best friend is getting married. She's invited you to her wedding. Of course, she ain't no Muslim, because our weddings are different and everybody's invited to our weddings. But this is your best friend. She ain't no Muslim. She's letting you know she ain't got no pork on the menu. You know, you're welcome to come. Would you go? Let's hear the answer.
No.
Is that an answer, or is that somebody being silly?
No, because our allegiance is to Allah, not your best friend.
That ain't no answer either. What's the two questions y'all ask about? Ugh. Anybody else want to try? Anybody else? Ugh. This is bad.
No, we shouldn't go because, one, we're not supposed to have friends that are not Muslim. We're not supposed to be in the company of non-Muslims, and it's not good for us to go.
Why is it not good for you to go? Y'all ain't answering.
It violates the allegiance to Allah and the Prophet ﷺ.
How? Y'all got to explain it. I mean, y'all just book memorizing. Oh. This is going to take a lot of work. Now, do y'all see why Muslims fall into sin? For I want y'all to start thinking, anytime you are faced with a question or a decision in life, the first thing you ask is, number one, is this something lawful or is this something unlawful? Then say, does this violate the Shahada? Does it violate my allegiance to Allah, to the Prophet, to the Muslims, or this religion? Those are the two questions to ask. And that's how you decide whether or not something is what you do. We're going to have to work on this a lot. A lot. A lot. Example. One more example. Make one easy. because I'm disappointed in my students. I'll make this one real easy. Let me think of something really easy. The kids did good. Huh?
I was gonna say for the last one that you just mentioned, that scenario, I would say that no, she shouldn't go to the wedding, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, we shouldn't keep company with anyone but a person who's a believer.
Okay, that's a good answer, but what is it violating?
Also, it's also violating our allegiance to the Muslims, because if we do go, that's where you have the allegiance to the Kafirs.
Exactly.
We're not supposed to take Kafirs as close friends, because the Prophet also said, you are who you associate with.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So again, it's not an issue. This is what I'm saying. That's the answer.
What you mentioned. Like, I thought of now with allegiance stuff, I'm understanding, because we also just had like a poll yesterday for a party, and I was like, what is this going against? The allegiance. If I if I accept this and I'm like, I'm gonna bring something, now it seems like we're all a community. We're the same people, and I'm not the same like them.
Right.
I'm always gonna be different than them, so I don't associate with their party.
Right.
It's not about the party being haram. It's about allegiance.
You got it.
And that's my allegiance don't belong to them.
Exactly. That's one of my students. She's got it. That's what I was saying. Everything is not about lawful and unlawful. A lot of things fall in the category of allegiance, just like going to a wedding. It's not haram to go to a wedding. But the question is this something that I should do as a Muslim? Is this showing allegiance to Allah? Is this showing allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, to the Muslims in my religion? Or am I bending the rules here? Am I transgressing the boundaries? No, I'm not going to go. I'll send her a nice present, though. I'll send her a wonderful gift. But no, these are not my people. I'll be the only Muslim there. No, I won't be able to enjoy myself. Let me give an example. I remember last summer, a person invited me to just their baby shower. And of course, I wasn't going to go because I don't participate. But I said, I'll do it for dawah. I did this for dawah because the person that invited me was a Muslim that doesn't practice her religion. So I said, I'm going to go to this baby shower and I'm going to be dressed up beautifully in my hijab, my jilbab. I'm going to be flawless with the makeup because I want all of these Muslim girls to see that this is how they're supposed to look. And I want them to see how all of them are Muslim, none of them are practicing, and when they see me, they're going to wish they were. So I went to that baby shower, but I didn't stay but 10 minutes because I felt so uncomfortable. I made my point. All the women that were there came to me. They all knew me. They hugged me, kissed me. Oh, Layla, so good to see you. Oh, I'm doing better. I'm going to put my hijab. The dawah worked. They felt really bad for not dressing the part and behaving the part. But I only stayed 10 minutes because I felt like a fish out of sea. These are Muslims, but ain't none of them practicing. None of them had on hijabs. They were dressed like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. They had the music going. Their baby shower was not even an akikah. I'm like, where's the lamb? I gave the dawah. I told y'all didn't slaughter a lamb. Oh, Sister Laila, we forgot. You right. Well, I'm going to go buy a lamb. I'm going to go do it. I did it. I gave my dawah. I made my point with the dawah, but I stayed only 10 minutes. I had to walk out because I felt like a fish out of sea. I said, if Allah sent his wrath down, every woman in there is going to get it because ain't none of them dressed right, and all of them were Muslim. They all came from Muslim families that are well-known families. Even a few of mine was there. Jayla. Jayla was there. She wasn't dressed right. I walked out of there. Okay? Allegiance. My allegiance is to the believers on earth. My allegiance is to the believers. I didn't feel comfortable. How would I feel going to a kafir wedding? I don't know nothing about kafir weddings. Men will be there too. Even if they put me in a table in the back, you're going to feel comfortable? No. Distance yourself from that, people. So not everything is a question of whether it's lawful. It's a question of Wala Wal Bara. My allegiance is to Allah, to this religion, to the Prophet Muhammad and the Muslims, not Kafirs. Y'all understand? Does that make sense to you guys? Why don't we celebrate Valentine's Day? Can somebody answer that? Why is it that we Muslims don't celebrate Valentine's Day? What is that violating? What does Valentine's Day violate? Anyone, go ahead. Y'all can't think? What? Don't answer, Norto. What about Valentine's Day? What y'all think?
Valentine's Day, we would distance ourselves from it because it's a holiday that is created by people, and our allegiance is to Allah and the Prophet ﷺ. And we just have two holidays, and those two holidays are Eid.
Okay, now what you're doing, sweetie, is you are memorizing, which is good. That's how you keep from falling into sin. But I want you to use your brain now and tell me why. Why is it that we don't? It's real simple if you figure it out.
We don't celebrate Valentine's Day because Allah tells us we need to forbid the evil and join the good. And the evil in Valentine's Day is it's a holiday that has stuff that it goes against our religion or our morals, such as, you know, during the holiday, people are having sex, people are doing all types of haram activities, and we don't join in that.
Exactly. You see how she thought? What is Valentine's Day? It ain't got nothing to do with no history. That's why I was telling Rashida, I don't care about no history. Valentine's Day contradicts our morality. This is when you want people to be your girlfriend. Be my Valentine. Be my girlfriend for today. Be my lover for today. So you're going to give them a gift to be your Valentine. That contradicts Islamic morality. What is my allegiance? My allegiance is to the religion of Islam. Islam teaches us that we don't have boyfriends. Islam teaches us we don't have girlfriends. Islam teaches us we don't go around asking people to be our Valentine. So I'm going to distance myself from that. This stuff is haram. Now that's an example of a holiday that is haram. It's haram because of what it represents, and it invalidates our allegiance to this religion.
And also another component of our faith is love, fear, and hope, and love. And that means loving the things Allah loves. And Allah doesn't like people who are in, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend relationships and who do haram. So it just goes back to another, you know, tawheed.
Exactly.
One of the components of faith.
Mashallah, she's thinking. You see how she answered that, Sister Layla? You see, that's easy though. But see, Islam is simple. But like the Prophet Muhammad said, we have to have common sense and think. A lot of us as Western Muslims, a lot of the Western Muslims have been programmed. We have been programmed to memorize what people say is lawful and what people say is unlawful. We haven't been taught the religion because we didn't sit down with qualified, bona fide people of knowledge and learn. Instead, we've been hopping around on the internet, listening to lectures or taking knowledge from people who weren't qualified to teach. So we have memorized a lot of crap that we heard, but how much of what we heard is true? And we have to think, like I said, anytime you're in a situation, number one, does it violate the laws of Allah? Meaning, is it haram? Number two, does it violate that testimony of faith? The shahada, my allegiance. Those are the two questions. And those two questions involve thinking. You have to think. Think. It ain't about no memorizing what so-and-so said about the history of Mother's Day. Who cares? It ain't about no history. And history is garbage. Don't y'all know that? especially European history. It's garbage. And American history too, garbage. Okay? Filth. Lies. It ain't about history. It's about thinking, about your deen. Let me give y'all another example. Boy, I can't believe that, wow, my gosh.
Sister Layla.
Uh-huh.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Because, you know, you said that our allegiance is to our creator, our prophet, and our deen. But you
and the Muslims. Wala Wal Bara is allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, allegiance to the Muslims, no matter who they are, and to our religion.
So that being said, I know many Muslims. When I was at the Islamic school, they would celebrate the birthday of the Prophet ﷺ, but I knew we didn't supposed to celebrate it, but I didn't know how to, like you said, I'm learning in your class to, you know, separate it. But you have some people who be tricky and say, well, that's allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ.
No, is it? What does allegiance to the Prophet? That's, again, what does Wala? Wala means allegiance. And we talked about that. When we declare allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what does that mean?
That means what he brought, and he didn't bring his birthday.
No, not just what he brought. What else does it mean? How do we show allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
It's following his sunnah.
Okay, what does that mean in plain, simple? Don't use Arabic, because y'all don't know the meaning of these Arabic words. What is saying in English? What does it mean to show allegiance to the Prophet? How do we show allegiance to him?
We show allegiance to him by following his example.
Okay, following his example, and what else? Is that the only thing we do?
Following his examples, and yes.
No, help her out, guys. Y'all should know this. We talked about.
Defending his way.
Wait a minute. How do we show allegiance to the Prophet? Now say it. Go ahead, Precious. How do we show allegiance to him, guys? Go ahead.
By following his way of life, defending him, defending his way of life as well.
And what's the number one thing that y'all ain't mentioned? What's number one? What does Allah say about the Prophet Muhammad? Not just follow, what else?
Obey him, following yourself.
Wait a minute, say it again.
Follow and obey.
Obey him. Obey him. We have to obey Allah and then obey his messenger. We have to obey the Prophet Muhammad. That's number one. Allah says it over and over, obey the messenger. Oh, Muhammad, tell them, obey me and follow me, and then you will be set aright. You have to obey him, number one, and then do everything that he did, that he commanded us to do. So celebrating a birthday, we already know birthdays are haram. Let's forget the haram part. But how is that? How is celebrating the Prophet's birthday showing allegiance to him? Why or why not? Based on what allegiance to the Prophet entails.
Well, it's not, because the Prophet already the one rule is we have to obey the Prophet, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, already told us, don't do to me like you guys have.
There you go. She got it, my best student.
So we don't celebrate birthdays.
Right. Right before the Prophet Muhammad died, he threw that blanket over his face, removed it, and he said, may Allah curse the Jews and Christians. May Allah curse the Jews and Christians. May Allah curse the Jews and Christians for what they did to my brother Jesus. He said, do not do to me what they did to Jesus. He said, I am a man. Do not make me out to be more than this. That was on his deathbed. He told us don't do what they did to Jesus, celebrating him. He said, don't commemorate me. So if you got allegiance to the Prophet, why are you disobeying him? He said, Allah says, obey the prophet in everything he commands you to do. That's the Quran. But see, the problem is Muslims today don't know their religion. They don't know the hadith. They don't know that the prophet made that statement before he died. Before he reprimanded Aisha about how she was treating Sophia too. That's one of the last things he said before he died is, be nice to Sophia. Okay? So these Muslims, and I call them Muslims, who are celebrating the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how is that showing allegiance? That's showing disallegiance, because the Prophet commanded us to not do that. He said, do not do to me what they did to Jesus. May Allah curse any of you who do that. That was right before he died. Those were the last words he said, guys, for those of you who don't know. So how am I showing allegiance to him? His death wish. Those were his death words. It's not allegiance. That shows you have no allegiance to him. Because if you had it, you wouldn't do it. And yes, it also shows that most Muslims are going to be in hell. Now y'all get that hadith? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, out of every 100 people you know, 99 of them will be in hell. And only one of the people you know will make it to paradise. Most Muslims on planet Earth will be in hell. Don't y'all see that? All that Arabic they speak. Arabic ain't saving you from no hellfire. What saves you from the hellfire is your aqidah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. You ain't got to speak Arabic at all. Just the Fatiha. The only Arabic any of us has to learn is Fatiha. But you got to learn aqidah. You have to have the correct belief system. You have to know what Wala Wal Bara is. You have to know the lawful and the unlawful. These are the basics. Like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, one of the signs of the last hour is the Muslims won't know what's lawful and what's unlawful anymore. They'll make things lawful that Allah didn't make lawful, and vice versa. And Muslims will have no allegiance. They'll have no allegiance to Allah, no allegiance to me or my sunnah, and no allegiance to this religion. They will do to this religion the same thing the Christians did to theirs and the Jews did to theirs. He said, you will look throughout the earth and only find a handful throughout the entire earth, just a handful of believers who live upon la ilaha illallah, the concept of allegiance and that testimony of faith. And we see it today. This is the type of classes that people need to be having. All that political junk don't mean nothing. All that politics, nothing. We need to get back to aqidah. Everything begins with and ends with tawheed. We got to learn the sunnah, and we got to learn it with the understanding of it that the companions had. The companions understood the concept of Wala Wal Bara, allegiance. That's why none of them celebrated no prophet's birthday or their own. That's why they didn't celebrate no holidays. As Islam spread throughout Arabia, it went through the Roman Empire. It went through the Persian Empire. None of those companions adopted any holidays of the Persians, nor did they adopt any holidays of the Romans, because the companions understood Wala Wal Bara. They understood allegiance and what it means. But now look at the Muslims today, celebrating any and every holiday they can think of, even making up their own. What a twisted nation we have become. And the sad thing is we're going to get worse. All right, guys, I'm going to stop right here. That's going to be the class for today. I'm glad we did have this talk. You know what I'm going to do? tomorrow, I think for the next few days, what I'm going to do is throw in my quiz or throw in some questions like this about birthday celebrations and gatherings, just to see how you guys answer, to try to train you to think and understand the concept of Wala Wal Bara, the concept of allegiance and disassociation. I know other daya don't teach this because other daya don't know it. That's why when y'all ask them about the lawful and unlawful, they give y'all fatwas about the history of holidays, when that ain't the answer. And most of the stuff they give you is not true, because history is his story. It's written with lies and crap. The only history that's true is Islamic history. That's it. Our history is true, but not nobody else's. So that shows that these brothers that y'all listen to don't understand Wala Wal Bara either. That's why they don't teach it. Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd did a good thing with these books, man. And I tell him all the time, these books are masterpieces. And I just wish he would teach them when he travels, because Muslims need to learn about Wala Wal Bara and how it's become so diluted. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions about any of this, y'all? Do y'all got some type of understanding?
I have a feedback.
Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
I have some, I think I've heard this before, sister. I'm not speaking bad about the Dai or something, but in Sweden, they don't speak about some gatherings. They don't speak about Tawheed because they want to collect the people. They want to collect the masses. So when it comes to Wala and Bara, it's somewhat very sensitive.
Yeah.
When it comes to gathering all the groups, all the different sexes. So
that's the Ruwaybida. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. That's Ruwaybida. Yeah.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
We're in the days of Ruwaybida. You're not going to hear this. Is the basics. This is what the Daya today. Most of the Daya today, I'm going to speak the truth about them, whether they like it or not. 97% of them are frauds. 97% of these Daya are frauds and need to go learn that Islam. They don't understand this religion. They don't understand Tawheed. They don't understand Wala Wal Bara. And they go to these universities online and even in Medina, and they graduate and still don't understand what La ilaha illallah means, what Wala Wal Bara is. The Prophet said this would happen. They're Ruwaybida. We're in the days of Ruwaybida. And we have been programmed to memorize what they tell us to memorize. And that's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Of course.
Yes. Any other questions or comments? But I hope you guys got it. Or is this penetrating? I mean, is this making sense to you guys? Norto, you did good. But I ain't surprised. Norto grew up on my website, attends all my classes. So does Fame. They know these answers. But and my kids, the Sunnah follower kids, Sabrina, precious kids, mashallah. Proud of y'all. The kids get it. It's just, Geechee, you did good. Geechee's coming a long way. Just got to express yourself a little bit better. Geechee, you understand. You just have to articulate it a little better. Good job, though, Geechee. Anissa, you did good considering you're fumbling around. I understand how hard it is to get to that commode. I understand. I got to put a joke in there. Y'all know me. Yeah. But anyhow, hopefully this is making sense. Sister Layla, is it making a little bit more sense for you, Layla?
Yes, alhamdulillah. I thank you, sister, because I knew what they were doing, but I didn't know, like you're saying, you're training us to articulate ourselves and give the evidence and the dalil. Now I can say it confidently and not waver whatsoever. I can say this, because I'm there. I got a clear, but I'm gonna read a little bit more, get a more understanding of walat Bara.
Yeah.
Is that?
You're doing good though. You and your kids too. Y'all doing good. Y'all see, it's not all of you. Even my new shahadas, I saw your answers too. You guys, the people on YouTube, y'all gave some pretty good answers here. The people on YouTube, y'all gave some pretty good answers. Brother Tarek on YouTube, Sister Aya, I saw your aunt Sakina, mashallah Sakina, mashallah Margaret, brother, even brother Akiz. Brother Akiz gave a pretty good answer too. I'm proud of y'all. It's just I want y'all to be able to articulate it better. That's the problem. The innovators, the deviators, they have the gift of gab. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was asked about the Ruwaybida, he went into detail. That's a long hadith. He said they are people who have the gift of gab. They can communicate beautifully. They can mesmerize you with their words. Their articulation is captivating. But if a person listens to them, you will see that they're ignorant. They don't understand the basics of the religion. They're not going to know what the lawful is, what the unlawful is. They can't tell you the pillars of the prayer. They can't tell you the pillars of the wudu. They can't tell you the pillars of intentions or anything else. But they can take the words of man and twist them and articulate them. He said, like a cow moves its tongue when it's chewing a cud. And y'all listen to these brothers on YouTube. They have beautiful diction. They use big words and, they have the beautiful voices, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. And they're just programming you to memorize what they say and think what they want you to think. They're not giving no dalil, no evidence. You don't hear the word Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam come out of their mouth. You don't hear Wala Wal Bara. You don't hear why it's haram or why it's violating an allegiance. They don't express none of that. But they mesmerize you with their tongue, their articulation. That's why the Prophet said in that other hadith, some talk, some speech is magic. Some forms of speech is magic. A person can hypnotize you and make you think whatever they want with their words. We have to come up out of that. The Ruwaybida, they have the gift of gab. The people of the Sunnah like us, we can't talk. That's why I'm always on my students. I say, Mina, articulate, express it, express it. We have a hard time articulating, getting the words out. Even some of the few daya that do know the religion, listen to how those brothers talk. They stutter. They have speech impediments, some of them. Oh, yeah. One famous daya, I love to listen to him. He's Arabic. He's Egyptian from my homeland, my father's land. In fact, we're related. But when he talks like something wrong with his voice. And he speaks in English, but it's hard to understand him. Something's wrong with his voice. He's got a speech impediment that runs in my family. My father used to stutter. My father had a speech impediment. He used to stutter. We got speech impediments. We can't articulate, or they have bad accents. They know the religion, but how you say in English? My English bad. You understand my French? They can't speak English well. We got a problem. But the innovators and deviators, they don't have those problems. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to stop right here. Don't forget, we have the Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show. My show is tonight at 9:00. That's another hour from now. So please, guys, any questions about Islam, make sure you come here with them. And also, we're going to be speaking about and feel free to join the Zoom room, elderly sisters, and get on the mic. We're going to talk about the problem with these young men marrying elderly women here in America. Okay, so that's going to be at 9 p.m. So I'm going to close out for now. So everybody can get a break. And I'll log back in at 9. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu